what I have here, I don't know if this is going to fit, but this is part of the archive series for the Disney, and this is layouts and backgrounds. And because I kind of like what we were, I'm not going to go through this whole book here, kind of like what we had found the last time was drawing out in pencil, then putting down the shade and the ink wash, and then the last step was the actual inks. And so I think we're going to try that going forward. I think that gave us a pretty good look. That's how we got our vampire here, as well as this was done in pens, Copic marker, alcoholic pen. This was done purely was ink wash, pure inks. So, but either way, I feel like that's gonna be. So I dusted out this old Disney book here, and this is gonna be. I like this picture because the light that's coming through this this doorway and this light that's coming in. So what's immediately over this? I guess this is a Ford. I don't know what you call this. It's kind of hazed out, and then you can kind of see that this is the theme that's going to go forward. Darker in the front, and then lighter in the back. But that's not a. We'll see. We will show. We'll show that going forward. That's not a steadfast rule. This is not really. I just liked this little hut at the top, and so you have the stairs going around the tree, and then it ends up at the hut at the very, very top, which I just thought was kind of neat. Here's another one where the foreground is a lot darker. There's a little bit more detail, but there's not a ton of detail. So back here, this is just it's a lighter color, but it's just a different color. And then it does have the going across the lagoon, this tree that's fallen across the lagoon here, and then you can see a little bit more. And then in the background here, not so much, not as much. So that's another example of darker in front, lighter in the back. What I like about this is there really isn't much detail at all. This is all done value coloring. This is at the forefront here, and this is all. There's not much detail at all. These look like flowers of a sort, but there's no detail on this. This is all value. And here in the background, these are dark as well. In this, so these two, this main tree and these trees here are broken up by this light tree and these lighter bushes. And I don't know, this picture in particular deserves a little bit more studying. What I like about this picture on the bottom is mostly that you can look through it. So you can see the detail on the bottom here with the stones, but you can look through, and there's stuff back here, and even through this. So these you can see the town and the city within the cracks behind those doors, which I thought was pretty neat. I thought that was pretty neat. And then so there's a ton of stuff in here. This is another one. This one is in color, but again, there's not a ton of details. This is all done with the values. And it looks, the darker values are up front, and the light source, very light. This is a black and white version of it. Again, the darker tones up front. Here's another one. I didn't have this marked, but you can kind of tell the darker values are up front, but the light source kind of washes out, and this is what it looks like in color. Again, not a ton of detail in these trees, but the light source, they paid attention. And again, that's a theme for these early Disney. This is all values here. But I like, the shadow, the way that the light hits, and it kind of brightens up certain parts. I think this one up here, I think this is the one that we want to look at. The framing is another thing here that you can see. We have this tree and we have the stone, but the way that these trees are laid in, it draws your attention to a very small centerpiece, and there's a little avenue here. So the framing of this, I thought, and then up front, these are just blacked out. These are just completely blacked out. And then, yeah, so I like the framing of that. This is another one here. These turned out to be a little bit different, which I just thought was kind of cool. I just thought that was kind of neat. I have no idea how much this actually, here's it is in painting, but you could tell they added a second set of tracks. They added some buildings back here. The shadow, it even goes to the sky. So the sky is lighter on the right side. These shadows that go through these trees that it cuts through, it's not universal. So I liked that part. Here's one where it is light up front and it is dark in the back. And so everything that we've seen was, well, it's dark in the foreground and it gets lighter as you go back, and that's how you show depth. But not here. This one is exactly the reverse, where this is all very light up front and it's all very dark in the back. And the difference is the detail. The detail back here, there is hardly any, but there's a lot of detail up here. That was interesting. And this Mowgli, and then up front, very dark, lots of details. I do think it is I think you can use all of those. So there's a lot of... Then there's less detail here in the center, and then when we go to these villages, there's more detail on the roofs, this palm tree here has quite a bit of detail, even more so than some of the grasses that are around it. Not sure why this side here. This has nothing to do with anything. I just thought that was a cool picture. With the different fireworks, the different colors of the fireworks led to the different colors. So this is an orange. This is a red. This is almost white back here. Again, the way that they framed it with color, which I thought that was very, very neat. And I think so this was underwater. I think maybe this side here, because this was again, the way that this is framed, it draws your eye to this center. There is more detail up front on these front posts than there are on these back posts. And then back here is very faded, but up front, very, very dark. And then you can see it here in color. They just completely black these out. There's almost next to no detail here, and then heavy shading, and then just the impression back here. So just got a couple more. And this one is another one where it's very dark up front. So this goes against everything that and there's not a lot of detail here. And then there's more detail. The centerpiece is this palace here. And then the clouds, because this light is coming from this direction, so these clouds up front, they're bright up front and they're darker the further back, where it is the opposite here. It's dark up front and it's lighter in the back. So that's another one that deserves a little bit more studying. This one here, this is a 2-pager, and there's like next to no detail at all. This is all almost done with different hues, but you can clearly tell what this is. There's no question as to what this is. And then the last one that I want to show you. I guess I did end up showing quite a bit of these, the dark, and the way that this is framed, and the way that this bridge kind of goes down, but the centerpiece is not really in focus. But all this haze is very interesting to me, that how they did this haze. But yeah, there's a ton that's in here. This is layouts and backgrounds, but this is the Disney Archive series. I don't know. I'm pretty sure these are like $45-50 books. I'm not really sure how much those are, but those are. There's a lot of stuff in there. And it goes through like during the 40s and the 50s when they did, before computers, then they did a lot of stuff by hand. That's what they were doing.